Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I'm going to be talking to you about helping a teething puppy. So at the moment I've got a wisdom tooth trying to come through and it really hurts. And it just got me thinking about all the puppies that I've helped over the years with their teething. I don't have any puppies at the moment. My boys are all way past that stage, but I remember it all really clearly. So in no particular order, I'm just going to go through with you the things that I did. So the first thing is that, right, so puppies, when you get your puppy, they'll have their baby teeth. You'll know them because they're so sharp. They then fall out. You don't always see it happen. They just swallow them sometimes. And then they'll get their other set of teeth. And when they come through, it really, really hurts them. It's really painful and very similar to when a baby's teething. It's very, very similar indeed. But it's very, very painful for them. And they're not being naughty. They're just in pain. And like I said, I've been through it a good few times. Certainly went through it here with Harry. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is this product. Now, I'm not saying this product. It's just the product that I've always gone to when I've been dealing with a puppy. It's called Vet IQ. Vet IQ. I can't show you any because I don't have any. But it's a teething gel for puppies. And you just massage it into the gums. And it basically numbs the gums. And takes away the pain, and it's really, really good. What's really important is that your hands are really clean when you put it on, because you don't want to get any infection or bacteria into the gums, because when the teeth are coming through, the gums do bleed, and you'll have blood on your finger sometimes you'll notice there'll be blood on their toys and stuff. And so you need to make sure that your hands are really clean. Then you put the gel on it, and then you rub the gel all over their gums, and they love it because it really gets in there. Really, really give the gums a good rub and get the gel right in there. You mustn't, if you're using Vet IQ, you mustn't do it more than 4 times a day. So think about when you're going to do it and sort of plan it so that you've got one of the times being just before you've gone to bed. But we've always found that to be really, really good. Really, really helps them. And if they're crying about it, or even if they're not, if they're teething, just do it, just put it on. But like I said, that's just a product I use, not sponsored, nothing like that. But any teething gel would do it. And it's really, really, I don't know how I'd have got through all the puppies if I hadn't got a teething gel. It's really, really helped no end. Now, the next thing is going to be toys. These are so important. Right, so they need to chew. They really, really need to chew. It's so important that you've given them something to chew. And a lot of dogs at this point will start chewing the furniture in your house. And that's why it's so important to make sure that they've got toys. And what I have found helps no end is if the toys are cold. If you go into a pet shop or Amazon or wherever, you can get special teething toys. Exactly the same again. You know, like when you give a baby a teething ring. And they've got gel inside, and you put them in the freezer. And then they freeze, and then they can chew on them, and the cold really helps their teeth. Now, the thing about this has surprised me. If I chewed something cold on my wisdom tooth now, it would be awful. But it works with teething puppies. They really like the cold, and they chew and chew and chew on it. And I always made sure I had enough going so that one could be in the freezer while one was being used. And just generally make sure that they've got lots of toys, because they get the urge to chew. And I know that because even with my wisdom tooth coming through, I've got this urge to sort of chew. It's exactly the same with puppies. They get this urge to chew. And so it's really important that you give them something to chew. And what I used to do was hold on to the toy so that they're able to really get a good grip on it. And I don't know if you can still get them, but what I always had with all of my dogs is there's like a plastic set of keys. And you can't put them in, well, you can put them in the freezer, but they haven't got gel or anything in them. They are for teething, but not for putting in the freezer. But this is like a plastic set of keys. They're big plastic keys, all different colours. And I've always found that they all really, really like them when they're teething. And so if you hold them, they can really get in there and really help the teeth come through. That's been really, really important to do. Please make sure you've got toys. It wouldn't, if you don't give them toys, they're going to go for your furniture. So I would really get onto that and get some toys. Right, back to Harry. So keeping them tired is important. I mean, I always think a tired puppy is the best kind of puppy you can have, because they really do benefit from being tired. But because they're going to be in pain, if they can sleep through most of it, it really will help them. So do whatever you do to get your dog tired. Lots of training, lots of running around, lots of playing. Keep them nice and tired. They seem to get. I've always thought the teeth got worse at night. So when you do whatever medication you're using, so for me it was always the teething gel, I made sure that it was planned so that there would be one, so that it would happen just before we went to bed. And I mean, I always let my puppy sleep in my bed. I just personally think you make your life so much easier by doing that. And so I was always there, and so if in the night they were crying or bothered about it, I could hold their toy for them and comfort them and help them. And during the night, so I wouldn't recommend that normally. I wouldn't normally leave toys for my puppy during the night, because I wouldn't want to encourage playing at night time. But I think when they're teething, it's best to do that. I always have had toys on the bed to get them through the teething at night time. Now let's look at my little Albert. This is my little Albert. I got him through teething. I seem to remember he might have been one of the worst ones. He's 9 now. That was 9 years ago now. But we got him through teething, didn't we, little Albert? Yeah, we did. Remember that they're not being naughty, so they are going to be more whiny. They will be a bit more clingy. They're not being naughty. They're in pain. It's so vitally important to remember that. They're not being naughty. They're in pain. So lots more cuddles, lots more fussing. Something else that I used to do was, because sometimes they might be like crying a little bit like they're in pain, but you can't give them the gel because it's not the time to give them the gel. So what I used to do was, so get my finger and so it'd be on the outside of the mouth. I wouldn't put it actually touching the gum. It'd be on the outside of the mouth. I would just rub the gums for them. Going along the whole thing of rubbing it better, and really I used to do that, just rub the gums, but I'd have my hands on the outside, simply because if they've got on the sofa with you, say, and you go to do it, the chances are your hands aren't going to be perfectly clean. So don't put your hand in their mouth, because you don't want to cause any bacteria or anything. So just get your finger or the palm of your hand or whatever, and just rub where their gums are, rub that, but on the outside of their mouth. And they really like that. It really, really helps. It's really comforting. Another thing is, who should we go to now? Let's go back to Harry. Soft food. So if you feed your dog dry food, imagine how hard and horrible that is for them to eat. I have to just put in here, I am so against puppies being fed dry food. It's so incredibly bad for them. Behavioural problems, health problems. I'm so against dry food being fed to puppies. But I won't talk about that in this video. That's a whole other video. I've done plenty about it. The video that I've done about understanding the ingredients in your dog food, I will put that at the bottom, when this video gets to its end. I'll put that at the end of it, and then you can look at that if you want to and make a decision about what's best to feed your puppy. If you do stick with the wet dry food, soak it in some water so it's soft for them. Because you imagine if you got really painful gums and you got to chew biscuits, and they're flipping hard, those dry biscuits. They're really hard. So just keep an eye on that. The other thing is, what will happen sometimes is, because they don't want to chew them, they'll just swallow them whole, and that can often make them sick because their stomach just can't handle that, just all that dry food just coming in whole. So so I'll attach that video at the end of this video. It's worth watching it. It's worth watching it so you can make an informed choice. Now, something else that I want to talk to, let's switch to Humps, is, I know I've never used this with my puppies because I didn't have this at the time when I had puppies. I've probably in the last 2 years, I've been training T-Touch. Now, I can't talk to you about it because I'm not a practitioner, but I have done all the training, and I use it on my dogs all the time for various different things, and myself and my husband. And I've been using, so it's called T-Touch, and I've been using it on my gums with my wisdom tooth coming through. And my husband had a bit of an injury recently, and we used it with that, and it definitely, without question, it definitely does help, without question. It's not just for pain, it's also for anxiety. But obviously, in relation to their teeth, we're talking about pain. So like I said, I can't talk to you about it because I'm not a practitioner, but I definitely would recommend that you research it. The T-Touch itself is really quite simple. If you just YouTube it, you'll see it there. But like I said, I can't talk about it anymore. But yeah, tea touch. I would imagine that would be incredibly good for a teething puppy. So it's well worth looking at it. So actually, all in all, it's actually quite simple what you've got to do. It's not complicated. It's just really the gel and having soft food and having the toys, and it actually doesn't go on for that long. It can seem a little bit like it does when you're going through it, but it actually doesn't go on that long. What I will say is, and you know, this is just different to various different people, but you know, if you've got a teething puppy, don't believe in them on their own. That's just, you know, poor little things. They're in so much pain. They don't understand why. They go all clingy and cuddly during it, and you know, just be aware. Just be aware. And as I keep saying, remember, they're not being naughty. They're just in a lot of pain, and it's not very nice for them. And I think the other thing is that if they are chewing your furniture, go a bit easy on them, because they're in a lot of pain and they've got to somehow stop it. And chewing stops the pain, and so that's why they're doing it. The next video I'm going to do is all about how to stop your puppy chewing your furniture. Lived through that one as well many times, so I'm going to talk about that in the next video. But you know, just be a little bit easy on them. It's a tough time for them. I'm probably way more sympathetic at the moment because of this wisdom teeth I've got coming through, but anyway, I do, but it all still counts. So that's it. So as always, you know, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, it's all under Furry and Spoilt. If you've got any questions, anything I didn't explain properly, you need me to explain, anything like that, pop it into comments. Or just ask me. Pop over to Harry for a little look. They're all fast asleep. It snowed here in the UK today, and we are going through a real cold snap at the moment. It's been like -7 and stuff at night, and for us that's really cold. And then it snowed, so they had to do their walks this morning with their coats and all wrapped up. And over here, my little Albert, fast asleep, so they're all conked out. That's how you need to be getting your puppy. I mean, obviously my boys are older now. I mean, Albert here is 9, Harry here is 6, and Humps here is 5. So obviously they're a lot older now, so they're a lot calmer, but they've just had a good hour out running around in the snow. But you want to be getting your puppy out running around. Remember also, the other thing is, you will never wear a puppy out just with exercise. It's impossible. You will not achieve it ever, or playing. What you will wear your puppy out with is using his brain. That will conk him out quicker than anything. So I know with my 3, so I do training with them every afternoon at 2 o'clock, and they are conked out afterwards. It really wears them out. That is the quickest way to get your puppy tired, is to teach them to do training. And I'm not talking about go somewhere, just in your front room, in your sitting room, in your kitchen or whatever. Just do some basic training, and they definitely will be worn out, and it will just make it all that little bit easier for them. So that's that. So thank you very much for watching. As always, I hope you and your dogs have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.